Afternoon and welcome to this week's session of What's in Store. I'm Erica Helligman, the Senior Marketing Manager here at TTEC. And as per usual, I have my good friend and Senior Vice President, Amy McDonnell. Amy, how are you?
Fantastic.
Amy, I don't know if you noticed, but I look a little different. I just found out that this platform has a touch-up feature. So if I look any different today, that's
what took you so long?
I was going to tell you about it, but I wanted to make sure that I stood out. So I super apologize. But
no, I'm ahead of you on this one. But thank you for now telling our secret to our audience.
I just didn't want to lie. I felt bad. But
yeah.
Today I wanted to talk to you about how to turn returns into revenue. I know that 8 in 10 shoppers are going to turn their back on a brand after one bad experience. And it takes up to 12 good experiences to make up for one bad experience with the customer. But 93% of customers are willing to you take something like a return and turn it into a positive experience and eventually revenue.
Yeah. In retail, returns are painful, right? Like all the way around. Whether we're talking about for the brand, we've seen just in 2022, $800 billion in lost sales just from returns. Super painful for the customer, right? They have a level of expectation that what they've ordered is going to fit to what they need. And when it doesn't work out like that, super disappointing. So yeah, all around painful returns. But there's things that we can do, right? There's ways that we can work with our brands to help alleviate some of those friction points. And so happy to talk with you about them today.
So Amy, the question is, how do we turn these returns into revenue with a CX focus?
Yeah, so I think that there's a couple of ways, right? Like, I think the first idea that kind of comes to mind for everyone is, well, if somebody's going to return something, you have a customer on the call, let's immediately try and upsell them, right? Let's just get more revenue out of it. Sometimes that's great. Sometimes it works. Sometimes the customer actually wants that. But there's often times where you're really just trying to resolve this issue. They're disappointed that the product that they wanted was not what they actually got. So it's not about trying to sell them on another product. It's about trying to fix this one. There's ways that through the contact center, we can provide some of those trends and provide some analytics on why customers are returning items, why they are not working, which will give better insights into how we then respond to resolve those issues. So I think that that's one. It's knowing what those trends are, knowing the right resolution that your customers are actually desiring, as opposed to just throwing, more sales at it, right? So that's the first one. The second one is, I think it doesn't also have to be very expensive when you're doing these kind of things. We do have generative AI, which can be used to give us some of that intelligence to feed those responses to our contact center so that they are understanding, from empathy, from frustration levels, from amount of time, amount of attempts that the consumer has tried to return the item. What is the best response to serve that is really going to turn a frown into a smile, right? So I think that that's the second one. And then I think that there's also the ability to make that return process easy. Communicate what is going on. We tend to be very over communicative where we're sending someone their shipment. But what do we handle the treatment the same way for a returns process? Do we make it easy to click a single link in your confirmation that allows you to start the returns process? Do we give you the option to return to a store or back through the online channel? Brands understand that when things are returned in store rather than online, they can get merchandise back on a shelf up to 2 weeks faster than if they were in an online environment, right? That is quicker money revenue back into the brand's pockets ahead of just an online option. So I think that there's some multiple ways where CX really gets involved and can help this process be much more seamless, just like the purchasing process was.
And I do want to clarify one thing you said though, because it's not just about making another quick sale, like you said. It's about providing the empathy. But can your BPO partner help you make another sale while you're doing a return?
Absolutely. Right. And I think that that's part of really knowing your customer and understanding where they are. If they're a very frequent customer and they got something wrong, more likely than not, they're going to stick with your brand as long as that return process or the exchange process is very simple and convenient for them. So when you can handle that, it absolutely opens doors for you to then spin, like I said, the frown into a positive by saying, not only can we handle this exchange, we're really sorry that this item didn't fit or didn't work, in your home. Here, for the loyalty to our brand, here's 15% off for your next purchase, right? We can give these ideas into our contact center. It's the idea of understanding where you are with that customer to know the right offer resolution to deliver for them.
Do you have any examples, real life examples that you could tell us?
Yeah, it's interesting. So retail tends to cross over into my technical portfolio as well. We support a device provider that sells in any retail store that you would be at. And they were having an issue with one of their devices, and we were seeing an influx of returns or requests for returns and troubleshooting for this device. We took that internally and said, look, this is a trend. There is something going on with this device. Let's figure it out. So proactively, we delivered a solution back to our client, which helped them correct the device, handle the way that their customer experience was driven, and it wound up saving them, millions of dollars in return merchandise authorization through the ability of us to change this. So yes, there's absolutely ways that not only is it by just giving a response, but by looking in and understanding trends in analytics, we can identify problems before they happen and help our brands to save a lot of, return costs that they would have lost.
That's amazing. And just like that, we're already at time for today. But Amy, I do want to ask you one quick question. And all of the outlines that I've put together for you, I always end it the same with, Erica, you're like the daughter I've never had, but you've never actually said it. So is there anything you want to add to today's conversation?
Just that this was another great segment. I really enjoyed it. I'm thrilled to be here with you. Maybe if the K was not in your name, then there would be a different answer to that.
Well, thank you so much. For anybody listening, if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out online at ttec.com/retail, and we will see you next time. Thank you guys so much.
Thanks for having me.